totally frozen. I see Tempura frozen with her hand up.
Okay.
I'm gonna exit and come back and dial back into the meeting and see if it fixes it.
On our end.
All right, that sounds a little bit better, I think now.
Lisa,
Mona, are you
it's still frozen, the picture on the Island Club site, at least on my end.
It was on my side. I dropped it and came back in.
Wow,
I
okay,
can
so-
see you.
Yeah, but the picture is still frozen on I still see Tempura
with her hand up.
and it has been there wait.
Well, that I'm not sure how to do. Like I said, it cleared up for me.
See, what I think needs to happen, even though we hear their voice, they need to accept that it's now recording, because that's kind of like an extra security step for everybody to know it's recording.
Yeah. Scott, can you guys hear us at all? I'm gonna say it's probably frozen up on their side.
No, I think it's good now.
Yeah, but I can't hear them. I can see you. I can't see the video.
Scott, can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Well, I'm wondering if he needs to log out and log back in, because I originally logged in as the host.
Lisa, give it a minute. Scott is saying he needs a minute. He's doing something.
Okay, all right. Well, while you do that, I need something too, and that's a fresh cup of coffee. I will be right back.
I can understand, too early in the morning.
Yes, it is.
No, sir.
Hey, everybody, you should be able to hear me now. Mona, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Lisa just went to get another cup of coffee.
Thanks. We're doing the audio through my phone because my laptop doesn't have a microphone because I bought the cheap version. So we'll have to make do with the phone. But is the picture quality any better? Are we freezing?
Yes.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. I'm back. All right, so let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Time is 9:04. Board members presence. I see Scott, I see Tempura, I see Kathy, I see G. Lindia, are you there? Oh, never mind. I see you with the pretty hat on. Shay?
I'm here.
She's the other one with the other hat. Okay, gotcha. Mona and Scott. Okay. I did have him down. And then Karsten not present. Tempra, you have Karsten's proxy for our vote. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Meeting was posted within the 48-hour period allotted by the statutes, so we are good to go. Purpose of this meeting is really to go ahead and vote on our selection for a contractor and materials. We can either do this in one vote or we can do it in two separate. We can do one where we vote for the contractor first and then we vote for the materials. Or if everybody is in agreement, we can just do it all together. If you guys don't have a preference, I think we talked enough about it on Thursday night. I think pretty much everybody's had enough time to kind of think through everything, looked at the presentations that Tempra sent to us. I think that we're ready as a board to go ahead and vote for a recommendation for the contractor and material. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion, unless you guys have any discussions that you guys need to have prior to going into a motion.
Yeah, I do. Just a couple of things. All right, so just to reiterate what you said, we're here to make a decision for the roofing company as well as the materials. The reason we kind of pushed it to a Saturday was because of the financial piece, because we wanted to secure materials before they increase in price. Am I tracking? Is this right?
That is accurate.
Okay. So since then, we contacted two individuals, right? We contacted two individuals, and our last discussion was letter of intent. And so we
Correct.
find that Florida Specialty doesn't accept a letter of intent. They want $50,000. And so, okay, so for me, right now, I can vote, I can make a decision on a contractor and materials and what have you. But now the concern is moving forward with the financial piece without some additional due diligence. That becomes my challenge.
Correct.
Because, and I can, yeah, that becomes my challenge. And that said, financially, and you know, we've been at this a lot. We don't want it to go any further, but financially, in my head, the structure is it's a number of things. Number one, we add one or two additional banks, because I know that we've been looking at them, so that's why I asked for a matrix. We add one or two additional banks. That way, when we're before the community, we've shown due diligence, financial maturity in asking all the questions. And we know we have asked a lot of questions, but we want to be able to articulate that clearly with them. Also, potentially, understanding that it's always it's pulling teeth trying to get a majority of people to answer us as a board. But to me, it was great that Stephen gave us the breakdown of 5 years, 10 years, and people have been here much longer. And that is data. But what is the real financial health of the people within this community? How do we find that out and bounce that against data? Is a survey that just kind of very simple. It says, hey, if we had to move today, how would you do it? Would you refinance? Would you would you refinance? Would you be able to afford an assessment within XYZ range, and or whatever third choice? And it's again, it's a temperature check that just kind of gives us that idea of balancing reality versus data, and then we make better decisions on two or three financial institutions that we may have approached.
Agreed.
That's just me. I'm trying to surmise what I have in my mind without taking us out a long period of time. Yes, sir.
So I think what you're doing is great. You're thinking about the financial implications for the community, I believe that was something that Rhea suggested we worry about after we get the contract. I love it. We want to get more banks in here. That's fantastic. But I'm wondering, where does the 50,000 come from? That's what I'm asking. I'm wondering if you were thinking that we have to go to the bank to get that.
Well, no, it's
And Temperance saying no. I'm wondering if we have it in reserve.
no.
We do have the 50,000. We have the 50,000. It's supposed to be coming from the roofing one. They actually took the initial payments from the money market reserve. So we still have, I know, right? So we still have 159 in the roofing one. But in the money market reserve, there was 168,000. They kind of moved it around. I was looking from April all the way to, and I say they, meaning Vista, Angela, whoever the new accountant is. When they took it, they started in April. The first payment was made May 24th. It was $40,000, 40. I think it was 40.
It was like
And
45.
Yeah, it's like 45. Okay, so then the second payment was made in July, which is why you don't see it yet. It's not on the June financials. I was waiting for it to come out of the reserve money, leaving us about 30 or 40 in reserves, and the rest would be reimbursed to operating, but that's not the way it was done. Instead, they took it out. We had 68,000 in the money market reserve, and that's where the transactions are going. So
Probably easier for them to pull it out of their Tempra, and that's
Yeah.
probably why they did it.
there you go. So
Could you repeat that, please, Lisa?
I said they probably just pulled it out of the money market reserves because it was easier to pull it out. Our reserve accounts are in sweep accounts, and so it takes a lot longer for them to withdraw and settle. They can do it behind the scenes once it's done, but we needed to pay the money up front, so they access the account that was the easiest to get to. So we have to repay that out of the pot of money. So that's why they took it out of the money market reserves. And that was just basically earmarked there for an emergency type situation, which this technically kind of fell into.
yeah,
That line of funds, that's in our financial report.
it's in our financial report. Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah, it'll
top
show up in the
operating,
financials.
one of those 2,000 numbers.
So
So technically the 50,000 is there. So what Florida Specialty is saying is they have to have a buy-in just like we have to have a buy-in. The letter of intent is our buy-in, but it's not as detailed as the proposal that they sent. So to save us money, instead of asking for the full 15,000 that they would have, 15,000,
50%.
the full 15% that they would have asked for on 5.26 million, which would have been 789,000. They only asked for 50,000, like a little mini security deposit, and they'll put up whatever they need to do behind the scenes, having our guarantee via the proposal and that monetary token deposit. They'll put up the rest to go ahead and order our materials now.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so 50 check, but the 5 million, that's the second, third order effect. That
Right,
pushes us
that's
into
after.
this timeline. And so, and I know it is to save money on materials, and you know, I went to
It's
so many.
actually not to save money, it's to expedite the order. So it's to get the order started, because the lead time on concrete barrel tile is several weeks.
4 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, it's 4 to 12 weeks. And so we need to go ahead and get that order.
Prices go up August 1st.
Prices go up August
That's the
1st.
save money part.
Right, okay, okay.
And it sounds bad. I don't know exactly what the number is that it goes up, but I'm
It's like 6 to 8%. That's what it is. It's 6 to 8% of whatever it is.
What's that total for FAB?
I don't know, because we're agreeing on the overall total. We're not getting into what they pay.
because I'm worried about we hit 50. Now we are pressured to knock this thing out.
No, we're not pressured.
You know,
We just want, it doesn't put a clock on us, except, well, we've actually escaped the clock, I guess. We've escaped the increase in monetary outlay that we would have if the prices went up on them, then their prices in our contract in what they propose that we pay would go up. So right now it's 5.26 million.
Hi, can
After
I,
August 1st,
sorry.
go ahead. After August 1st, yeah, after August 1st, their material costs go up, which means what they're charging us could go up. And then it's
So-
gonna go up again in December. So what we're trying to do, number one, is to save that potential monetary cost, right?
Yeah. And I'm comfortable in a little bit with it going up if it's still less than the next person. You know what I mean? Because that's just me. That's just me.
6% of 5.260 million, you gotta think about that, that's not 26,000.
The other part of it is knowing the health of the community, because if they contribute,
Yeah, it's not gonna affect that, it's not gonna affect that.
Okay.
Tempra,
Go ahead.
can I
Yeah.
just put in?
Shay,
Yeah, Shay's got a question.
and then Shay will go from Shay and then Mona, okay?
What's the cost for holding? So as of now, I don't know what our projected date of start of, construction. That's one. What you're saying that.
It couldn't be before October if it were Florida specialty. Like I went ahead and asked that question. What would be our projected start date? Hopefully, what would be our projected start date, depending on lead time for the materials being here and their tear off and all that. And they said that, they could bring their crews back in October.
All right, so when is her season over?
Good question.
November 30th.
November 3rd.
So,
Okay.
I'm just thinking, what's going to be the cost for them to house the material for 117 units? For holding, what's that cost? Are they?
I don't think it won't be a cost to us. It'll be a cost to them. According to him, it's not a problem because they're ordering right away, but because of that lead time, it's coming into the warehouse. And if they know that they can't start before October, they'll be holding it until then. If there's an issue with hurricane season,
So
Yeah.
they do have, I guess the question then, because that's my.
Hold on, Mona was.
yeah, Mona was next. Okay, go ahead, Mona.
So I would like to bring up a few points. So number one, the 6% is not the cost of the overall project. It's the 6% is only the cost that would go up of the materials. And a
That's
lot
true.
of the cost, so that's my one point. A lot of the cost in roofing is not the materials, it's the labor. And that's where, and
True.
there's usually an upcharge on materials, and there's usually an upcharge on labor. So if this company really wants the contract, then they could also eat the extra 6%, number one. Number two, my real problem is we are signing a contract that is a legal document, and we haven't even figured out the financing. How could we possibly sign a contract at this point for $5-point-something million, and we have no clue how we're going to pay for this? And then in addition,
Mona, we are. I'm sorry. Keep going.
one more thing. So I actually contacted the independent roofing consultant and asked what it really means to secure a price for the product. So he explained to me that the way it works is you guarantee the company that you're working with will guarantee X amount to purchase. And that usually means the manufacturer will hold this price for a certain period of time and allow the contractor to purchase that product for X for this particular price. So there's usually a start date and there's an end date. So what happens is if we can't even get the financing together by that particular end date of when this pricing ends, so then we're in a really bad situation.
Okay, were you done? Because I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm done.
While you were going. Okay, the 6 to 8% is on the materials. There is usually an increase in labor and materials when they're, in this instance, if we have to hold off past August 1. I'm gonna say it is a material amount. If 15% is 789,000, then 6 to 8% of that is greater than almost half, which is 300, which we don't have anyway. So we still want to hold the price on the material. What was that next point?
Let me just
As
interject
far
here.
as
something,
contract, what they
guys.
sent us was a proposal. When we sign the proposal has language in it for an AIA addendum. And that AIA addendum is supposed to contain all the particulars of a contract. It is a contract. It's the contract that we've been talking about since almost the beginning of this project, which is far more detailed than what we've been getting, that should have the ins and outs of everything that we're supposed to be doing. So what they're doing is, it's actually a great favor to us, is to take that proposal, that signed proposal, that's our intent that says we're going to follow through, barring everything else that happens on this contract. They are moving from 789,000 down to 50,000, which is a token amount to go ahead and place the order, which, you know, it's actually part of their record. When they took the first contract on the first 3 properties, that's pretty much what they did. We signed a proposal. They went ahead and placed the order as soon as they got the first deposit.
Well, this speaks to contracting. Will we, in my mind, have an out if something, the worst case scenario happens, or we have an out or have to extend beyond?
See, that's the problem.
So,
We can't
guys,
have an
guys,
out if we're asking them to order material.
Guys,
That's why they ask for a token deposit.
At this point,
Yeah.
guys, can I say something?
And
Guys,
yeah,
thank you. Okay, first of all, I understand, G, I totally understand your concern, okay? Because I'm the one that's got to sign the contract. And I have a copy of the contract. I need to get it printed out and I need to look at it. And it needs to be reviewed by a contract attorney. Temperate, I know everything that you're saying is in there, but I want to make sure.
well,
Hold
yeah.
on. I want to make sure everything is in there and that we don't have any language in there that can trip us up later down the road. Okay. I'm in total agreement with G to a point. Now, when it comes to the financial pieces of it, that's a huge element. Okay. My one comment, G, is legally, I don't know that we can go and get the true health of this community. We can't go ask people if they've got good credit or not, or how they're going to pay for it. All we can do is say, here are some options. Okay, we're not going to sit here and we're not going to be throwing them a massive assessment like these other areas. Here are the options. You as an individual need to take that finance option and meet with somebody on your side to do what's best in your financial favor. Okay, so I know that we've got 2 simultaneous discussions going on here, but right now we need to get this contract underway. And I think the first thing, Temper, if you would for me, if you could print it off because my printer is not working. I want to look through it and I want to get that over to our contract attorney ASAP so they can start looking at it and making sure. If they come back and they say, look, this contract is about as good as you're going to get. This is your in, this is your out. Here is what you've got protecting you. This is in your favor, whatever the case may be. I'm fine with signing that contract and at least securing that piece of it. So really this meeting here is designed to approve the and the materials with finance coming down. And obviously, G, you know, as well as all of us, the financial piece of this is going to be extremely critical. But now that we have a contractor and we know what the terms of the contracts are and what we have to give up front, that's going to also help us when we start having those financial discussions. Because now we're not going to have to sit here and say, well, this company's going to want this and this company's going to want this. And if we have to do a special assessment, just saying if, at least we can plan it because we know which contractor we're going with. We know what their expectations are. Sorry, that's, I mean, that's
And
just
I
my
appreciate it.
put.
So Lisa, in essence, you're signing a contract for 5.6 or something million dollars without having financing. And we absolutely. So we haven't figured out the financing at this point. You're signing
Yes,
the
we have.
contract, you're responsible for all this money. You're going now to the homeowner saying, look, here we go. We're signing a contract for, we signed, no, we are not signing. We signed a contract. Now we have to figure out financing. And by the way, your portion is probably $50,000. The homeowners haven't even been informed yet of what kind of financial responsibility will come at them. And here they are, all of a sudden, in 3 months, this thing has to be financed.
Well, no, and I don't think that's the approach that we plan to take.
Lindy's been waiting.
If you were here Thursday, you have a good idea of the many ways of financing that we are trying to propose to the community. The other thing is, I think we were down to the 2 contractors. The committee was done, and then the third one was introduced. And I quote, "It is not for such about cost savings, but the quality of work that will add to the longevity of the life of the group." So we said, okay, let's hear them out. But the thing is, they didn't say anything that we didn't already have from the 2 that we decided from. So now we're sitting here in this limbo. So,
I don't want to go that.
yeah, so if the thing is like, what, for me, I think we should still be down to citrus and specialty. That's who we've been talking to the whole time. The third one was introduced, and we said, okay, we'll hear them out because we don't want to shut anybody up. And the thing is, they said they have this great track record. They were here, they've been in business for 30 years. It's okay. But that being said, we also requested, and the company also knows, you fulfill a request for proposals or request for qualifications, you have to give them everything that they asked for. They still have not given us everything that we've asked for. We don't have their references. We haven't visited any of their projects. Don't have their references. We haven't visited any of their projects. And they still haven't responded to how the logistics is going to go for them being in Boca and not being here. Because as we all saw with just 3 units, the logistics was quite hectic with just the permitting for 3 units. Now you have 120 people and you got to work out that logistics. Some of them want to give it to the office. Some of them want to give it straight to whoever's going to be in charge of the roofing committee. It's kind of it gets really hectic. So that was the other. I've asked for certain things to be responded to and they were not responded to. Usually for me, that's an automatic disqualification. If you do a request for proposal and request for qualifications and you put that out there and you don't fulfill everything, you're not in it. So that's why for me, it's a little confusing, and they know that. They know they should answer all the questions, and we don't have all their information.
Lindia, at this point, it's not even about the company. At this point, my whole point is we're signing a contract. We're committing ourselves to a huge, huge amount of money, not just us. We are committing every single homeowner in Island Club to a huge amount of money. And we haven't even figured out how we're going to pay for it. Should be the step, we get the financial done, and then we sign a contract. At this point, we couldn't even pay for anything we signed for.
Mona, when you go to a financial institution, you have to tell them what your intentions are. From the middle to the end of this, actually from the beginning to the end of this, what we did was we went out and we researched from Synovus to Valley and now to Harmony Bank. So there are now 3 banks involved. Most of them have told us, since we don't have a reserve, anything in our reserves actually, that they will finance up to $5 million. So that's been discussed. We've already talked about the difference that the homeowner will be responsible for, and and that was what was presented. When was it presented? Thursday, when when the roofing committee presented their recommendations.
And the town hall.
And the town hall. We said that $50,000 would be financed with the bank. The difference would be financed by the homeowner. We looked at each one of the individuals that were participating, and we gave a synopsis that said it would cost $7,113 for Florida, $7,113 as an initial outlay from Florida Specialty. From SRIS, it would cost $14,060, which is double the amount. From Citrus, it would cost $19,000. So erring on the matrices for all the qualifications that we looked at on the material, on the contractor, and on what the initial outlay would be, that's why Florida Specialty came out as number one on the matrices with a 29 score. So I don't think that we can sit here and say that we never looked at and we don't have an avenue to consider financing, but that's not what we're considering right now. That's not all of it. It's just a piece of it. So number one, we got to do what's best for the homeowners. We can't ask them to pay $14,000 when there's an option on the table where we can have a proposal that solidifies our material, that gives a minimal outlay of $7,116, that only asks for a $50,000 token down payment to get skin in the game. I'm not understanding what you are not seeing.
But in addition to that, we've seen their work. We visited their references. We visited their offices. You know, and that hasn't happened for the other companies. And we can be certain of the quality of the work already. And the thing is, that little bit of a difference, or that lot of $1 million difference, to me, even with trying to look at the adjuster and I'm looking at their fees, I'm like, can you lower it? Because that's 10%, that's $100,000. And we're dealing with much more than that in the cost savings between the two companies. That's 3 roofs for me, 2 or 3 roofs. So, which I think that extra that we'll be paying, or that however much extra that proposal is, that will affect, that's money we could use to fix people's foundations, to fix other things that, you know.
It's almost $1 million.
I'm trickling it down to, like, if we use that money, it's not just like, oh, we got a company that's been around for a long time, but that money is stuff that we need and that we need to repair around here.
At this point, it's not about the company, it's about the fact that we are signing a contract, a legally binding document for a huge amount of money, which every homeowner is responsible for. And we haven't figured out the financing and so you will be standing in front of homeowners the moment you sign the contract and saying, look, we signed this document, and by the way, your portion is $50,000. Would you be able to, like, and here's 3 months and you somehow have to figure it out?
Mona, we got Shay who's really patient, and I've also wanted to address some things. So we're gonna hop on over to Shay.
So my thing is, we could choose a contractor, but I do agree with Mona on the fact that if we are putting finances into the choice, that locks us in. And then the part where Lisa mentioned that she wanted to make sure that the contract goes to an attorney and make sure, do we have an out in the event something happens where we cannot go through with it.
Understood.
Now, the other piece that I'm hearing from Mona is when she's saying finance, yes, I understand that you guys have decided where the loan takes place. But we have other things on the table where we're trying to get money from insurance as well. I'm not sure if this loan is still being suggested as a roofing loan, or is it a loan that is going to be spread across all the other things that need to be done in the community? So that's one thing. So that means that, okay, now we're going to incur a contract or a debt that we still have many other things in the community that our budget is coming up here shortly. So I'm just saying, we can agree on the material and the contractors, but $50,000 at this time, I'm not, is this what this vote is for, that it's going to accompany that? I'm not in agreement, because like Lisa said, she still has to run this through with an attorney beforehand. So why would we sit here and agree to $50,000 and I understand saying 6% of the material cost? But then but again, you cannot provide what is it gonna cost to house material? And then the fact that we're gonna do a roof by October in this hurricane season, and that's a projected date. And again, it's still, because every meeting we've had, roofing community meeting, whatever meeting, we have told the community, we're gonna bring this to them. It's not gonna feel like you brought it to us if we've already gave money down. It's to the community. It's not gonna feel, the last news we've had where the community felt like, oh, you guys are just gonna do what you wanna do anyway. You're not making it seem like the community has to say, if you bring it to them, and you've already agreed on the material, you already agreed on the contract, and you've already signed the contract, so what are you telling them? You just said, this is what we're gonna do, and it's that. That's not fair to the community. That's not fair at all. Now, we had discussed that there's homeowners who already said, hey, I have these funds, and I would have paid mine, and we can do it in sections. But we haven't even explored that. By going this way and solidifying and extending contract and giving $50,000, that's not giving the homeowners any respect to me. Because at the end of that number ended up being $69,000 over 15 years, and we still have additional things to do. And we also have a budget that's coming up for September, August that we need to figure out, and November's going to come, and we're going to have an election. So it's very critical on the decisions that's made today for this community, for every homeowner, that y'all, it's giving me the feeling like, oh, it's $50, let's throw it up. That's nothing. Let's hurry up and do it. We got to, because 6%. So then what would be 6% on top of that? I'm uncomfortable, but I'm trying to understand that $800,000, what it, for the project that you're saying that the homeowner each homeowner got to get $59,000 up front.
But see,
May,
the difference between the two companies is
Thank
over $1 million. The difference between their quotes.
No, I'm saying the
I know.
the email was
The thing is, the difference between their quotes is about $1 million.
I'm not even,
But I'm talking.
so she's still at the, I'm sorry, she's still at the beginning. So is it okay
Yeah.
if I straighten out some things? Okay. So right now, I can't, no,
it's like, I'm saying the amount that either one,
okay.
that the homeowner's gonna pay up front.
So the amount that the homeowners could potentially pay up front with Florida Specialty as a contractor is $7,113.
Okay.
The amount that the homeowners could potentially pay up front with SRIS is $14,060. The amount that the homeowners could have potentially paid up front with Citrus was $19,000 and change, which is why we gravitated towards Florida Specialty. As far as when the project begins, what they told us was they could not begin it before October, which is fine with us. There's other things happening behind the scenes that might help us with the cost. So the whole point of the roofing project was to get the cost manageable, to make sure that the homeowners could afford it, and to see the best materials for what they could do, right? So we already know that SRS is about $1 million or so more than Florida Specialty. We know that Citrus was $2 million more. So again, that was why we gravitated towards Florida Specialty.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not in the 60,000s anymore because we didn't go with composite. We're not there anymore. Everybody backed down from composite and went towards concrete barrel tile, what we have, to make sure that the homeowners could afford it. So the price for the overall roof now is in the 40s. It's like 48 or 47 or something like that.
And we
So,
don't.
I'm talking about the interest.
yeah. No, we're not even worried about the interest right now. What we're looking at is the overall. I know you are. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So when it's calculated now, it's like 40-something thousand. I think the interest comes out to be 25 or 27. I'm just talking off the top of my head. But G might be looking at it, so he, you know. But anyway, it's about 27,000. So your roof now is 69 with principal and interest if you stay in there for 15 years.
Just want to pass over.
Okay. So, well, wait. We're going to get there. We're going to get there because no matter where you go, you're going to have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you go. What we wanted was the lesser of all the evils. Florida Specialty appears to be the lesser of all the evils. No matter what you do, it's going to be that way. So then we looked at what's going to ease the cost on the homeowner. Thank you. Yes. Oh, it's showing Okay, it's not open, but it's okay. I kind of remember off the top of my head. So, oh my God, my train of thought just went away. Okay, so the cost on the homeowner, so what we did was we split the cost. That was what it is. So we know the bank will finance up to $5 million.
Okay.
We know that $5 million over 15 years is $386. So that's kind of a set price, it's $386. The first 2 years, you get to pay interest only. First 18 months to 24 months, you get interest only. So interest only is $256 and change that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
4 times a year,
Mm-hmm.
you can pay your principal down. So you don't actually have to wait the whole 15 years to accumulate that 25 to 27% overall interest. That's a homeowner thing. So let's get back to the big project. Yes.
My turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so this is horrendously terrifying. We
Yeah.
are in the position to make a decision for 114 units, families, people on fixed incomes, people with varying degrees of credit, and fear is understandable.
Yes.
Completely. However, I with that said, there's a couple points I want to make. I think we have intelligently looked at the finances. The purpose of this meeting is to decide on whether we are going to go with the building material and the contractor. I think talking about finances is hugely important, but there's a point I want to make about the finances and then get back to talking about the
I just had one question I want you to include in there.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going while you.
That is
What's the question?
letter of intent. How
Okay, let
efficient-
me
Yeah, I just remember in the last meeting, we said that was legal and binding.
let me keep going.
So keep going.
I mean, yep. So, with that said, that the finances are scary. We are not thrusting the decision unknowingly upon the homeowners with this vote. We have educated for the last year that this was coming. People who had concerns, we've seen sell, probably at a deficit or to our detriment, but they were able to make that decision because we've kept them informed. So we're not throwing anything on them unknowingly. There's no surprises here. The meetings for the roofing committee have been open and broadcast on Zoom and available to look at if they weren't posted, if they requested it. So there's no surprise. When we talk about signing a contract without the financials, without a bank yet, we know that we've been in talk with banks. But as the roofing committee really enlighteningly reported, by giving the homeowners a period of time to decide how they want to finance, that's going to affect our overall loan amount, giving the bank a better picture of our actual health. So not having the financials determined at this point actually can work to our benefit because the homeowners will be able to come forth and say, I'm paying directly. I'm going to give you a loan from I'm going to take out a loan in another way, and then here's that money. So there are some advantages to that I think we're overlooking because I think we're so fearful of that, understandably fearful of the price tag. So the other thing that I would point out is that if I remember correctly, isn't every loan fluid until it's signed? So
unless we're putting, like, even with the letter of intent, what we were asking was if we give them a letter of intent, can they go ahead and hold the price on the materials?
And they said no.
And they couldn't hold the price on the materials without a little bit more on our end because it's just a skin in the game. I mean, we're asking them to spend, skin in the game. We're asking them to spend their money. So I'm gonna stop right there on that. That was, we're asking them to spend their money, so they wanted a token deposit. But if we're picking them and we're saying a letter of intent, basically that's what we're doing. The contract.
I worry that we are letting buyers' possible remorse keep us from moving forward with what we know we need to do. And I'm just going to state where I stand right now, and I am ready to vote on the concrete and Florida specialty.
I am okay with the 50,000. I think that's a reasonable request on their part. My only concern at this point, unless I think of others, which I reserve the right to do, is the time frame of having the lawyer look at the contract from Specialty and getting it signed in order to maintain those savings before the price hike on August 1st. Otherwise, I am ready to commit to the vote right now. And with that said, I reserve the remainder of my time. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Is there anyone online who has their hand up? No. Okay. Go ahead, Shay.
So, in regards to the 6,000 portion, I would, suggest that we vote on what materials and what the contractor is, but I would hold off on that portion until the contract is solidified and it's brought back to the board to review, not just, oh, well, because I don't even know what contract attorney is going to even look at it.
So, Shay, with that in mind, are we available to meet Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night in order to review it and vote?
I wouldn't think that an attorney can look at it that bad.
Actually, the same language that was in the first one was looked at by a contract attorney, and I asked him to specifically leave that language in there. It involves, and I think I put it in the notes, in the email, it involves the waiver of the third-party liens and everything else in there. And I had him to add an addendum AIA clause so that we could modify the agreement and make sure that we got everything that we needed in there. This proposal is what we're saying that we would use, that he would accept, that we would use. Yeah, but the A1A is a lot, the A1A takes months. So go ahead.
There was also the fact that any cost savings would be shared between the contractor and the owner.
Exactly.
And that's a specific AIA. You say AIA.
Exactly. Yeah, I keep saying A1A like $6.
AIA
Okay.
contract.
Okay.
And so the 6% that a lot of the cost for the project, when it comes to contracting work, is labor. So like you said, any contractor that's going to get it from the manufacturers at their price that they get. So the fluff and the numbers all come from the labor. So to me, I would ask that if it's going to go up by 6%, that they hold the
No, that's a little fair.
the 6%.
Okay, I think we're focusing on minutia because that's down in the contract. The contract for us topically is 5.260. The language in the email that I sent said that if something went down, it would be the performance bond percentage, which is 4% right now and equates to about $210,000. Also, any other savings that they get would be passed on to us. So as far as their materials and the 6%, we can't control that.
No, we can ask for it. Just like
We have asked for it. We can't control that. He's already, yeah. And at 50,000 versus 700, an initial start date, anybody that's starting us on a project is going to ask for a bigger percentage than 1%.
And Lisa's got her hand up.
Go ahead, Lisa.
So basically, what I think we need to do, and I know we've got a time frame here. Cody did send a contract over. I'd like to send that to each one of you guys. You guys obviously have an opportunity to take a look at that contract. If there's any questions that you guys have in the terms of the contract, then let me know. And then we can get it over to the contract attorney. I would like to do that simultaneously so that we are not taking, I don't want to do a time suck here, okay? So if you guys can take a look at it, at the same time we have it going over to the contract attorney. Look, I get this is a big price tag, and Scott, I'm 100% with you. This is scary, okay? But no matter how we look at it, this is coming, okay, period. It's coming. We are gonna have to pay this. We've got the means of being able to secure a loan. I get that. And I know that, you know, we've got a lot on the line with this community. But I also think that our homeowners in here, like Scott said, is preparing for this. They know. We've kept them updated on everything. It's coming. So whether or not we hold off on signing the contract to secure financing, or we go ahead and at least get that piece secured in while we're working on the financing, we're not getting around financing, period. Financing is on the table and we don't have a choice. So, you know, I don't want to keep holding things up. Let's at least as a board, let's each of us take an opportunity to look at the contract and definitely point out anything that you guys need to have questions on. And I'm good with that. But right now, this vote is to select the contractor and the materials. And then we take it to the next step.
Thanks, Lisa. I want to see if Kathy hasn't had a chance to chime in, ask any questions.
I've been listening. I missed the Thursday meeting, so I'm not really as up to date as I should be.
Okay,
honestly.
I wasn't sure if you had anything you wanted to chime in. I didn't want you getting.
I'm in the hospital and I'm taking
Nope,
care of her,
we-
so.
And then Shay, you got your hand up?
I'm
Did you-
fine. I've been absorbing what you guys have been saying, and it's been very, very. So,
Yeah.
So the other piece is, in one of the roofing committee meetings, I think, not the rest, because it was just a temporary area, but before that, they had like 3 scenario options that they were going to present to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one was enlightening because it said, hey, that's the homeowners who wanted to pay their portion up front. Because to me, that would be a lesser amount that we would have to take a loan.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, I didn't get that part.
Yeah, that's the financial health. That this way the loan amount would be,
Yeah. So I'm just wanting to make sure I understand that we are just not taking the 50,000, doing that, and then going off getting a loan, and then just saying, oh, here to the community.
And by the way, no, remember during the presentation on Thursday, there was an explicit instruction or suggestion rather, that we give time for homeowners to decide which option they want to pursue, whether to go with Island Club and then just pay a monthly stipend, or whether they would go out and get their own loan. So that was explicitly.
$5 million, that's what
It will. It will.
what's it called?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying, before we lock ourselves into the $5 million, can we see how many homeowners who wants to say, hey, well, I have it, I'm going to go to.
No.
No, we can't do it that way?
I think doing it that way.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get prepared for you now. Much love, y'all. Everything's out of love. So I think the reason we can't is because waiting to present to the homeowners and have them decide only kicks the can further down from a start date. And we are already behind in wanting to get this project completed. They already know that at that town hall where we talked about financials, the new homeowners, I don't know. I can't speak to that. So, but I don't think, right, that would be a real estate and their buyer. That would be something between them and their seller, not necessarily us. Because if they've been here at all, they've had a chance to see that we've had roofing committee meetings. You know, so I mean, there should be an awareness of some sort. But I really, and this is personally, I want to get the project going. And from what I've heard from you two, Florida Specialty did a decent to good job. Besides the initial getting things like the logistics. But if they're not starting until October, that we have time to talk to them. We have time for them to come out and start talking to the circles. Here's where we're starting. But if we don't get it signed now, it's going to be later. And I would rather get this going sooner than later. So, yeah, that's okay. Temper, sorry.
No, you're
No,
good.
Thinking about doing the roof, this big of a project, in October?
They don't have to start in October. It's just that's as soon as they can get to it.
That's as soon as we can.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
They won't be able
Which
to.
it kind of works in our favor for all the stuff that's going around
And-
that we're doing.
To address your point, we can ask the company that we go with, when do you recommend we start? Is it okay to start during hurricane season? And if they say yes, because they're not gonna, I mean, if we're giving them some time, they're gonna provide some input. And when I go to my doctor, I'm gonna do what my doctor tells me. So if they say, yeah, we should probably wait until December 1st, then guess what?
We wait for December.
But
But our pricing is,
But our pricing is set, which is what we're trying to do.
to the point of another contractor we were talking to, I think it's good to secure the material, especially because you don't know what's gonna happen during hurricane season.
right.
And then during that time, materials are hard to come by. You know, so, and then you might be waiting even longer, and then the price is gonna be higher for supply and demand. You know, so I think that's a good thing that we can secure, at least secure materials. We can pay for it, and the manufacturer, they just keep pumping this stuff out. They can, and by the time we're ready for it, we'll say, okay, we'll pump your shipment out by this date, and you can come pick it up. Because they can
holding it.
Right.
Right. My only concern too was if it's 6% and we're gonna pay it in holding, like storing,
Yeah.
is that gonna be the same thing?
Our disadvantage
Yeah.
is that we don't have a place on property to stage that stuff. As we purchase it, paid for, we don't have a,
No, that's what I'm saying. If there's not a cost for us to be ordering it, right? And then it's ready by what's that date, and then they're housing it. I'm saying, is there a cost for that? If that cost is the same of the for 6%, that's on the.
So they'll look at the contract.
Yeah.
is
Also,
there storage cost.
the manufacturer may not start producing our part of the shipment.
Closer to.
Yeah,
Closer to the date that we need it.
Because they know we've already put our order in, we're paid, their fiscal year closes in October. So it's like, okay, we know they already paid for this, all we gotta do is make it, so.
Okay.
So at this point, I would like to make a motion to vote on the materials. And the motion as stated will be, and so,
Do you
ready
want
for
to
the
do it
motion? Lisa?
separately or?
I'm gonna do it separately.
Okay.
Do it separately.
All right,
Lisa, you ready for
so,
the motion?
well, I was gonna say, what I kind of wrote down, a motion here, we can combine it or we can separate it, but
Perfect. Go,
basic.
make your motion. Go ahead, if you got it written, and go ahead and go with yours.
Yeah, I mean, what I put down is to engage Florida Special Roofing to replace our roofs with the ceramic tiles, subject to final review of the contract.
Is there a second for that motion?
I second.
Okay, so the motion as stated, Lisa, please read it back to us.
To engage Florida Special Roofing to replace roofs with ceramic tile or cement tile, subject to final review of the contract.
And the motion you're
Meaning
bringing
if-
is not correct?
Meaning if we find something in the contract that is, a detriment to us, that we can go back and renegotiate with Florida Specialty on it. So
Your motion
that's
says-
more the thing. So,
And your motion says cement, not ceramic, correct?
I'm sorry?
Your
Your
motion
motion
needs to
says-
say cement or concrete barrel tile. That's what we have.
I did, yeah, it does say cement, correct. So to engage Florida Special Roofing to replace roofs with ceramic tile
Nope. Cement.
or cement tile.
So Lisa, you would have to state, somehow it has to sign in there that you're signing a contract because you're not just engaging them. At this point, if you go with Florida Specialty Roofing, you are signing a contract that is legally binding.
That's why I put in here, subject to final review of the contract. We still have to review the contract, and it still has to be within our best interest. So it's not uncommon to go back and forth and keep negotiating contracts, even though we've selected Florida Specialty. Basically, what we're doing right now is we're making the choice to engage Florida Specialty. Okay, that's the
So right
contract.
now, we've moved from- Lisa, one point of order. We've moved from looking at the motion to discussion.
So discussion is open. I just want to point that out for the Robert's Rules
Correct.
people.
Right.
Lisa, go ahead and continue.
So basically, you know, we're making our decision to go with Florida Specialty as our contractor. That's who we're choosing. We're also choosing to do the cement tile. But in the motion, I did put in there subject to final review of the contract. We are not signing a contract until it has been fully reviewed by every board member, any contract attorney, and we understand the full terms of what this contract offers. We are not signing a blind contract. So that's why I put in there, subject to final review of the contract. And we can add if we need to by board member and contract attorney, if you would like. We can add that to the motion. Do you feel that we need to
Mona?
add that?
No, I think that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other discussion to entertain?
Then
Then the
let me-
discussion period is closed. Let's go ahead and do a vote. Lisa, go ahead and call the vote.
Let me read the motion in full then, okay? And then we'll do our vote. To engage
Perfect.
Florida Special Roofing to replace roofs with cement tile, subject to review of final contract by the board and a contract attorney. Any seconds?
I second.
Is that you, Lindia?
No, that's Tempura.
Oh, it's Tempra? Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, read that one more time, please. I just wanna
Read
make
the
sure I
motion
understand.
again, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yes,
the
please.
motion is to engage Florida Special Roofing to replace roofs with cement tile, subject to final review of contract by board and contract attorney. Seconded by Tempura.
Okay. If you wanna call the
Anybody-
vote, I'll go ahead and do
Yeah.
numbers for the.
Anybody opposed?
Just kind of wanted to say, should it say the community roofs or should it say what roof you're
The
talking about?
contract is already got all that.
Okay, anybody opposed?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Jeff
we've
opposes?
got, I'm sorry?
Shay opposed?
Shay
Opposed.
opposed? Okay,
Shay and Mona are nays.
got it. Scott, you're a yes? I'm just
I would
gonna,
like to get- yeah, I would like to get a yes vote for the other members as
I
well.
am. So Scott, you're a yes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tempra, you're a yes, right?
I'm a yes, and Carson is a yes. I have his proxy.
Got it. Kathy, you a yes?
Yes. Yes.
G,
I'm a yes. Get concerned, but I'm a yes.
okay. Understand what the concerns, totally got it. Lindia?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a yes. Shay, we have a no. Mona, we have a no. And Carson, we have a yes. Okay, so it does not pass unanimously, but it does pass.
Are you supposed to have everyone's property in writing at the time of voting? And David,
His, Carson sent his proxy out, I believe on Friday. Was it not Tempra or yesterday? It was received in well enough time for the meeting.
Right.
And yes, we do have it in writing via email.
No, we don't. We have it via text.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
via
in
text.
email. No, it's in email. I
Oh,
saw it.
okay.
He did do it in email.
Here.
but I don't think that's all right.
Yeah, I would prefer we did most of the proxies in an email with notion to, yeah, but that's a different issue.
Yeah.
But I understand your point.
Yeah, he sent it on July 25th. For the board meeting on Sunday, I give Tempra Pope my proxy.
Okay.
That's an email or a text?
This is an email. And it was sent to
Okay,
the
perfect.
full board. So every board
Cool.
member has a copy of that.
Okay.
All right, so we're good there. All right, I think that's pretty much it. There's obviously more to come. Please take a look at the contract. Let me know if there's any language in there that you guys have questions on, so I can make sure I get it over to the attorney.
Are you sending that contract to us today? Shay wants to
I
know.
will send it out.
And so just before we adjourn, let's go and review action items for all board members. Lisa, first action item is Lisa's going to send the contract out to us today. Lisa, do you have a time estimate that you'll send that out to us?
Like right now?
Okay, so it'll be immediately after the meeting. Action item, each board member needs to read and send responses in a group all email. Don't reply all, so we can all see the responses. Don't just send it to Lisa. And let's have that done by 8 o'clock tonight.
If we
So-
can, that would be great.
Oh, mm-mm.
And then Lisa can have it, and then Lisa will then send over the contract with our noted concerns to Vista or to the contract attorney.
Contract attorney.
Actually, I've got to find out who the contract attorney is because I don't remember his name, but I'll reach out to Vista.
I
I
have
will
it, I'll
get
send
that.
it to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you also send the contract for the 3 property as well, to compare this contract to that contract?
No. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm confused. Why?
To compare this contract to that contract, what's the difference in what we're getting for the community versus the contract we already had with the same company?
They're getting all the same thing we got.
Yeah.
I think the thing is like,
No, that's how it said, because that's hearsay. I was asking to review side by side.
So back to
So send you the one with the 3
Yes.
and then the one with all of them.
is that something
Yeah.
you need today, or is that,
Yes, I'll take care of
you
that.
got, okay, so action item, Temper will send to Shay the contract for those 3 minutes. Okay. I'm just not gonna look
Right.
at it.
I just sent it all out to you guys.
Oh, okay.
And then we're gonna get, just to reiterate, we will give feedback to Lisa by 8 PM tonight via reply email to all board members.
Mhm.
Lisa, action item, separate. Tomorrow, send contract over to contract attorney.
Yep.
We need it rushed.
Yeah.
Yep, and I copied Angela on it, so she knows it's coming.
Good,
I would-
okay.
I would like to make a
Okay.
suggestion.
Yes, go ahead, Mona.
We should have at least a business day so we can consult our own attorney with this contract in order to make any changes.
so an individual contract, like with attorney, the island.
Do you want to do it on this part of it, or do you want to do that on the AIA contract, on the
On-
AIA addendum?
On anything that might possibly be signed, we should have at least one business day in order to show this contract and what we are possibly signing to any kind of legal counsel on our personal end before we have to make a rush decision within a few hours
No,
and
no.
possibly signing this
No.
document.
Mona's not against that, but I think we can still have our contract attorney take a look at it and then give the 1 day.
Yeah, I don't want to stop our contract attorney. And I'm fine with that, Mona. You can, yeah, definitely. But I mean, at least for you to look at it and provide any feedback, I'd like to have that by the morning. If you want to have somebody else take a look at it, absolutely, we can always take that feedback and provide it over to the contract attorney. So if you need a business day for that, absolutely. Take a business day and have somebody take a look at it on your behalf. I'm fine with that. But I don't want to stop the process of it going over to our contract attorney. Because, you know, your attorney may come up with something that, you know, none of us picks up on. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I just at least wanted I at least just wanted the board members to take a look at it first.
Okay, Shay?
Oh, so you sent over this one, but you didn't send over the one for the.
She's doing that. She's doing that.
Yeah,
That's all.
Tempra is sending that one. I just sent the one that Cody sent me. Man, point all those fingers to Tempra, dang.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Okay, so are there any other action items that the board thinks we've overlooked that need to be added?
Well.
As long as it's related to this, because we were not posted to talk about anything else.
Well,
Yep. Okay. Well then, so all action items have been reviewed and understood by the board members and the individuals who are responsible for them?
Yep, motion to adjourn the meeting at 10:09.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Seconded by Kathy Brazzi. Rosie?
Awesome, meeting adjourned.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. Bye, guys.
Get it right, Scott.
Right?
You know, now, okay. Still gonna be that guy.
Hold on one second.
That,
Let
me stop the recording.
Okay,
Let's go to-
over the contract now.